A report came out this month that people have not stopped arguing about. A research group went through all 50 states and named the single deadliest animal in each one, and the map they produced is being shared everywhere, and almost every person sharing it has the same reaction. That cannot be right. Here is the thing. It is right. And it is also hiding something, because a list of the scariest animal in each state and a list of the animal actually most likely to kill you in each state are two very different lists. And by the end of this video, you are going to understand the gap between them. And you are not going to think about the drive home the same way again. We are going to rank all 50 states, from the ones where the wildlife can barely touch you, to the one where you are simply not at the top of the food chain anymore. Every animal named is really there. Every death described is a real person, on a real date, in a real place. No invented names, no footage of the wrong animal, and near the end, we are going to name the creature that kills more Americans every year than every bear, shark, alligator, mountain lion, and rattlesnake in this entire country put together. And it is going to be an animal you have never once been afraid of. Stay to the end for that. It is the whole point. Before we start, one thing. Drop your state in the comments right now, and when we reach it, tell me if we got it right. I read them. And the argument in the comments is better than the video. Subscribe if you want more of these. Let's climb the list. We start at the bottom, the safe states, the ones where you can walk into the woods, and the woods will mostly leave you alone. Number 50, Delaware. Delaware is the safest state in the country for wildlife, and it is not close. No bears to speak of, no wolves, no mountain lions, a few venomous snakes in the wettest corners that almost nobody meets. The most dangerous animal here is the one the report actually named, the Portuguese man-o'-war, the blue balloon of a creature that drifts onto the Atlantic beaches, and trail stingers that can reach 30 feet. It hurts like a branding iron. It very rarely kills. On land, Delaware is farmland and suburb and quiet forest. If you wanted to be safe from American wildlife, you would come here. Number 49, Rhode Island. Same story, slightly more to it. Coyotes across the state that want nothing to do with you. Offshore, the report names the tiger shark, and tiger sharks do pass through New England water. But a shark killing someone in Rhode Island is a once-in-a-lifetime event that mostly has not happened. The land is tame. The danger is a rumor. Number 48, New Jersey. More wildlife, still safe. Black bears are genuinely common in the north of the state now, and the occasional one wanders into a town and makes the news. Coyotes are everywhere. There are venomous snakes in the Pine Barrens, but New Jersey is one of the most developed states in the country. And development is its own kind of safety. People here noted in the comments that the shore sees shark activity, and it does. Nobody is being eaten on the boardwalk. Number 47, Connecticut. Black bears are expanding fast, and Connecticut now logs thousands of bear sightings a year, and the occasional home break-in. In the rocky wooded corners, there are copperheads and timber rattlesnakes, and the report named the timber rattlesnake as the state's deadliest. It is a serious snake. It is also a shy one, and fatal snakebite in the northeast with a hospital an hour away is vanishingly rare. Connecticut is where the wildlife starts to have teeth, but the risk is still mostly theoretical. Number 46, Massachusetts. The report calls it the black bear, and the bears are here and growing. So are the coyotes, and this is worth a pause, because in 2009, just north in Nova Scotia, a young folk singer named Taylor Mitchell was killed by coyotes on a hiking trail, the only recorded adult killed by coyotes in modern North America. It is the reason coyote fear is not entirely irrational, but it is also almost unheard of. And in Massachusetts, as everywhere, the animal that actually fills the hospital is the one on the road, not the one in the trees. We are leaving the safe states now. The wildlife is about to start counting for something. Number 45, Maryland. Black bears established in the western mountains. Copperheads common enough that people get bit reaching into woodpiles. And the report names the bull shark for Maryland, which is the correct and unsettling answer, because the bull shark is the one shark that swims up rivers into fresh water, into the Chesapeake, into water where nobody is watching for a shark. Bull sharks are on this list more than once, and every time they earn it. Number 44, Illinois. No real bear population, but a genuine spread of venomous snakes in the south of the state, copperheads and cottonmouths and timber rattlers, and one of the largest coyote populations in the country, including a famous population living inside the city of Chicago, tracked by biologists moving through downtown at night, mostly unseen. The report names the coyote for Illinois. In a state this urban, that quiet adaptability is the danger that scales. Number 43, Indiana. Copperheads, a returning black bear or two, coyotes everywhere. The report names the eastern copperhead, the snake responsible for more venomous bites than any other in the eastern United States, and almost no deaths, because copperhead venom is weak as pit vipers go. Indiana is the copperhead's territory, and the copperhead is the animal you are most likely to step near and least likely to be killed by. Number 42, Ohio, one of the largest deer populations in the East for its size, and hold that thought, because Ohio is one of the states the report itself admits is really a deer state. It has copperheads, it has a small returning bear population, but the animal that actually hurts Ohioans is the white-tailed deer on the highway at dusk. We will come back to the deer. It is going to matter more than any predator on this list. Number 41, Vermont. Here the list changes, because here the moose arrives. Vermont has a smaller moose herd than its neighbors, but the terrain funnels them onto the roads, and a moose on the road is not a deer on the road. Add a healthy black bear population, and Vermont steps up. The moose is the first animal on this climb that can kill you without any intent at all, just by standing in the wrong place at the wrong second. Number 40, New Hampshire. More moose, more rugged country. A higher chance of meeting a bear on a trail. New Hampshire runs moose crossing warnings for a reason. Every year the state logs collisions, where a car goes under a moose, and the animal comes through the glass. The bears rarely hurt anyone. The moose does not have to try. Number 39, New York. People forget how wild New York is. The Adirondacks alone are bigger than several national parks combined, and they hold black bears, moose, coyotes, and timber rattlesnakes. The report, interestingly, named the mosquito for New York, and we will honor that at the end, because it is more right than it sounds. But the animal a New Yorker is most likely to die to is, once again, the deer on the road upstate. The wild north of the state is real. The killer is still the herbivore. Number 38, Pennsylvania. No moose, but one of the largest black bear populations in the eastern United States, and millions of people living right up against bear habitat, so encounters are constant. And here is the number the competitor skipped. Pennsylvania is one of the deadliest states in the country for deer collisions, consistently top 5. And a Pennsylvanian's odds of hitting a deer in a given year run close to 1 in 50. The bear is the animal Pennsylvania fears. The deer is the animal that fills its emergency rooms. Number 37, Wisconsin. Black bears and a step up, because Wisconsin holds one of the largest wolf populations in the lower 48, over 1,000 animals. Documented wolf attacks on people are almost non-existent, but the presence of a real wolf population changes the character of a state's wild country, and the report named the black bear here. And between the bears and the wolves and the deer, Wisconsin is genuinely wild in a way the eastern states are not. Number 36, Michigan. Everything Wisconsin has, plus moose in the Upper Peninsula, plus a growing and now confirmed cougar presence that residents flagged in the comments, and that the state has been slow to fully acknowledge. Wolves, bears, moose, cats. The Upper Peninsula is one of the wildest stretches east of the Rockies. Michigan closes out the middle of this list as a genuinely dangerous place to be careless. Now the tone shifts. We are into the states where the wildlife is a real and present threat, not a rumor. If your state has not come up yet, it is coming, and it is probably in the back half, which means it is one of the dangerous ones. Subscribe so you are around when we hit the top 3, because that is where this gets serious. And keep your state in the comments. I am reading them as they come in. Number 35 and 34, Virginia and West Virginia. Nearly identical, and both rugged in a way that raises the odds of meeting something. Black bears in the mountains, timber rattlesnakes and copperheads across the ridges. And West Virginia holds a specific, verifiable national record. It is the single most likely state in America to hit a deer. State Farm's data puts the odds at roughly 1 in 37 every year, the worst in the country. West Virginia is, by the only measure that counts, the deadliest deer state in America, which makes it one of the deadliest wildlife states in America, for a reason nobody expects. Number 33, North Carolina, everything Virginia has, and then the coast adds alligators, and the report named the Portuguese man-o'-war for the Outer Banks. But North Carolina's real distinction is the black bears of the coastal swamps, which have grown into some of the largest black bears ever recorded anywhere. Animals over 700 pounds, feeding in the rich farmland. North Carolina is where the South's reptile danger and the mountain predator danger start to overlap. Number 32, 31, 30, and 29, Kentucky, Tennessee, Iowa, and Missouri, a cluster, because the wildlife blurs together across them. Copperheads and timber rattlesnakes throughout. Black bears increasingly common in the rural mountains of Kentucky and Tennessee. And Tennessee holds the Great Smoky Mountains, the most visited national park in the country, where 1,500 to 1,900 black bears live at the highest density in the eastern United States, and where people are bitten and occasionally dragged from campsites. Missouri, the report named the tick. And Missouri is genuinely one of the worst tick states in the country, which matters more than it sounds, and which we are coming back to. These are the states where the ground itself starts working against you. Number 28, Minnesota. Turn Michigan up a notch. The largest wolf population in the lower 48, over 2,000 animals. Thousands of black bears, moose in the north, timber rattlesnakes in the southeast bluffs. The report named the coyote, but Minnesota's real signature is that it is the wildest of the Midwestern states. The one place down here where a wolf howl is a normal night sound. Number 27 and 26, Nebraska and Kansas. The open plains, fewer giant predators, but do not mistake that for safe. Venomous snakes across both. Widespread coyotes, a growing mountain lion presence pushing east out of the Rockies, and bison, which the report named for the Dakotas, and which belong in this conversation everywhere they range, because the bison injures more people in this country's parks than any other animal. It looks like livestock. It is not. It can hit 35 miles an hour and turn a person inside out over a photograph. Number 25, Arkansas. Here the danger comes from land and water at once. Black bears, a heavy population of venomous snakes, alligators in the south, and one of the fastest growing feral hog populations in the country. Animals that have killed people in this country, including in a case we will reach. Arkansas is one of the first states on this climb where the threat is genuinely everywhere. Number 24, Maine, the wildest state in the Northeast. And its danger is not reptiles, it is size and remoteness. One of the highest black bear populations in the country, tens of thousands of moose, vast forests where help is hours away. Maine is where the eastern half of this list starts to feel like the western half, where the country is big enough to swallow a person, and the moose on the logging road at night is the animal most likely to do it. Number 23, North Dakota and South Dakota. Open, empty, and deceptively armed. Coyotes and bison across both. South Dakota adds a real mountain lion population in the Black Hills. North Dakota adds more encounters with moose and bison on the open range. These are not states people fear. They hold more large, dangerous animals than most people driving through them will ever realize. Now we cross into the dangerous tier. This is where the wildlife stops being a footnote and starts being the headline. Number 22, Nevada. From here up, the animals are a genuine threat. Nevada holds a large mountain lion population, one of the densest rattlesnake concentrations in the country, bark scorpions, and Africanized bees, the swarm that pursues for a quarter mile and does not quit. It is a desert state, which means the animals are living at the edge of survival, and animals at the edge of survival are less willing to back down. Number 21, California. California's danger is its variety. Roughly 4,500 to 6,000 mountain lions, the largest population in the lower 48, and the state with the most confirmed mountain lion attacks in the country. On the 23rd of March 2024, in the Sierra foothills near Georgetown, two brothers hunting for shed antlers were attacked by a young mountain lion. Talon Brooks, 21, was killed. His brother survived. It was the first fatal cougar attack in California in roughly 2 decades. Add black bears, wild pigs, rattlesnakes, and the great white sharks off the coast, and California threatens you from the mountains to the surf. And yet hold this thought too. California is the great white capital of the planet, and the shark has killed about 15 people there in 75 years. Number 20, Washington and Oregon, the Pacific Northwest, vast forest and the large predators that come with it. Black bears, mountain lions, and wolves in growing numbers, plus the coastal sharks. Residents pointed out correctly that both states also have moose, rattlesnakes, and scorpions. The report glossed over. Washington even has a small, real grizzly presence in the north, and an active plan to restore more. This is big, serious predator country, and it is only getting bigger. Number 19, New Mexico. The report named the mountain lion in New Mexico as one of the few states where the cat is the honest answer. But New Mexico stacks the desert on top of the cat. Several species of rattlesnake, bark scorpions, Gila monsters, and javelinas that travel in aggressive herds. And residents flag something real in the comments. Jaguars, the great cats of Central America, have been photographed crossing back into New Mexico and Arizona in recent years. As of sightings in 2026, the apex predator of the Americas is quietly testing its old northern range again. Number 18, Oklahoma. A surprising mix. Mountain lions confirmed in the west. A real alligator population in the southeast that most people have no idea exists. Venomous snakes throughout, including the western diamondback. Oklahoma is a collision of ecosystems, and each one brought its own predator. Number 17 and 16, Utah and Colorado. The high country. Both hold mountain lions, black bears, moose, and rattlesnakes. Colorado adds one of the largest moose populations in the region, and constant encounters with mountain predators. And Colorado is where one of the most cited mountain lion fatalities in American history happened. In 1991, near Idaho Springs, an 18-year-old high school runner named Scott Lancaster was killed and partially eaten by a mountain lion while jogging on a trail above his school. It was one of the first cases that taught wildlife biologists that a healthy lion, in the right circumstances, will hunt a person. Utah's deserts add scorpions and heavy rattlesnake country. These are the states where the mountains themselves are the hazard. Number 15, Arizona, one of the most venomous states in the country. Arizona hosts more species of rattlesnake than any other state, 13 of them. Along with the bark scorpion, the Gila monster, the only venomous lizard native to the country, black bears, mountain lions, and the jaguars now testing the southern border. The state's poison centers handle well over 100 rattlesnake bites a year. If your fear is venom, Arizona is the most dangerous state in America. Number 14, 13, 12, 11, and 10, the Deep South. Georgia, South Carolina, Mississippi, Alabama, and Louisiana. A whole region at once, because they share the same nightmare geography. Their swamps hold some of the largest American alligators in the country. Their forests hide black bears, the highest feral hog population in the nation, and some of the most dangerous snakes on the continent, cottonmouths, copperheads, and rattlesnakes. And their warm coastal waters hold bull sharks, the aggressive, river-running shark that thrives in fresh water where no one expects it. One honest correction here, because accuracy is the whole point. The report named the eastern diamondback rattlesnake as Louisiana's deadliest, and that is a range error. The eastern diamondback does not live in Louisiana. Its range stops east of the Mississippi River. Louisiana's real venomous signature is the cottonmouth and the canebrake rattlesnake. Small thing. But if a report gets the snake wrong, you should know it, because the swamp does not make mistakes about what lives in it. This region, top to bottom, is the most consistently dangerous stretch of the eastern United States. Only 9 states remain. The gap to the top is wide, so we are taking them in 2 groups, and everyone from here is a genuinely formidable place to be in the wrong spot at the wrong time. Number 9, Hawaii, the most isolated state, and its danger is almost entirely in the water. The report named a snake, the yellow-bellied sea snake. And here's the honest catch. Hawaii is the one state with no native land snakes at all. And the sea snake, while real and venomous, has essentially never killed anyone there. Hawaii's true danger is the tiger shark, which patrols the coastline and has killed swimmers and surfers, and the box jellyfish, which arrives on the leeward shores about 8 days after every full moon, on a schedule, carrying venom that can stop a heart. In Hawaii, the threat is simply that the only thing to do is get in the water, and the water is where everything dangerous lives. Number 8. Texas, the state with a little of everything. Rattlesnakes in the west, western diamondback and Mojave, and more. Alligators in the eastern wetlands. Mountain lions in the Trans-Pecos. Black bears returning to the Big Bend. Copperheads generating the highest bite volume in the state, and bull sharks in the warm Gulf water, and the river mouths. The report named the alligator for Texas, and that is a defensible pick, but a debatable one, because Texas's real signature threat is the rattlesnake. And Texas's real body count leader, like almost everywhere, is the deer and the highway. Texas does not have the single giant predator of the far north. It has more different ways to get hurt than any other state in the country. Number 7. Wyoming and Idaho. Here the wilderness turns genuinely intimidating. Grizzly bears, black bears, wolves, mountain lions, moose, elk. Wyoming holds Yellowstone and its bison, which gore more visitors than any other animal in the park, because people forget a 2,000-pound animal that looks calm can move faster than they can. In 2011, a grizzly in Yellowstone was involved in the deaths of 2 separate hikers in the same summer, Brian Matayoshi in July and John Wallace in August. These are the states where the National Park Service hands you a pamphlet about what to do when, not if, you meet a bear. Now the top 3. The states where the question stopped being what lives here and becomes how many ways can this country kill me? If you have made it this far, you are the kind of person these videos are made for. Hit subscribe before the top 3, because after Alaska there is a twist that changes everything you just watched, and you do not want to miss it. Number 3. Montana. Everything Wyoming and Idaho have, concentrated. Some of the most untouched wilderness in the lower 48, and the full roster of North American predators living in it. Grizzlies, black bears, wolves, mountain lions, and moose. Across country big enough and remote enough that a mistake does not get a second chance. Montana is the lower 48 at its wildest, the last place down here where the food chain does not automatically put humans on top. Number 2, Florida, the only state that rivals the far north, and it does it from the opposite direction, because Florida's danger does not wait in the remote wilderness. It is in the retention pond behind the outlet mall. Florida holds over 1.25 million American alligators in essentially every body of fresh water in the state, including golf course ponds and suburban canals. It has the American crocodile in the south, the only place the two coexist. It has bull sharks and more shark bites than any state in the country. It has the Florida panther, venomous snakes, and now invasive Burmese pythons swallowing the Everglades. And it has the case that defines the danger. In 2016, a 2-year-old boy named Lane Graves was taken by an alligator at the edge of a resort lagoon near Orlando, in water that looked manicured and safe, feet from a beach. There is no wilderness in that story. That is the Florida nightmare. The danger is not out there. It is in the water you thought someone was managing. Number 1, Alaska. To no one's surprise and for every reason. Alaska is the one place in the United States where a human being is simply not the top of the food chain, and everyone who lives there knows it. 30,000 brown bears, the largest concentration on Earth. The coastal ones fed fat on salmon past 1,200 pounds. Polar bears on the northern ice. The only bear that will hunt a person on purpose. Wolves that hold territory across the whole state. Moose that injure more Alaskans than every bear combined. And a wilderness so vast and so cold that help can be hundreds of miles and days away. In 2017, a 16-year-old named Patrick Cooper was killed by a black bear during a mountain running race near Anchorage, close enough to town to text his family that a bear was following him. Alaska's fatality record is longer than any other state's, and it is not a ranking anyone up there is proud of or surprised by. It is just the arithmetic of living in a place that was never tamed. So that is the ranking. 50 states, safest to deadliest, Delaware to Alaska. But I told you at the start that this list was hiding something. And here it is. Go back through everything we just climbed. The grizzlies, the great whites, the alligators, the rattlesnakes in 13 species. Every one of them is real, and every one of them is rare. Across this entire country, bears kill maybe 2 to 5 people a year. Every venomous snake in America combined kills about 5 or 6. Sharks, 1 death every year or 2. Mountain lions, fewer than 30 in the last century. The animals that rank these states, the animals we are all afraid of, kill a few dozen Americans a year between all of them. Now here's the animal I told you to wait for. The white-tailed deer kills around 200 Americans every single year. More than every bear, shark, alligator, mountain lion, wolf, and rattlesnake in this country combined. And it is not close, not because it is a predator. It has no teeth worth the name, and it wants nothing to do with you. It steps onto a road at dusk, and the second one is always right behind the first. And 150 pounds of animal comes through a windshield at highway speed. And the timing is always the same, dawn and dusk, the low light hours and fall when the rut makes them run without looking. 1.5 million collisions a year, 10,000 injuries, 200 people who do not come home. The deadliest animal in America is the one on the shoulder of the road you are going to drive tomorrow. And it is not even the whole story. Because worldwide, the deadliest animal on earth is not the shark or the bear or even the deer. It is the mosquito, which kills more human beings than every other animal on the planet put together, through the disease it carries. And it lives in all 50 of these states. One competitor left it off the list on purpose and called it lame. It is the deadliest animal in the history of the world. The dog on the couch kills 30 to 50 Americans a year, a third of them small children. The tick you can't feel carries Lyme disease and worse through every state in the Northeast and beyond. The report named the animals that scare us. This is the list that actually buries us, and the gap between those two lists is the most important thing on the map. So here is what this ranking is really about. We come to a video like this, wanting the grizzly, the shark, the thing with the teeth. And in a few states, way up at the top, that animal is honestly the answer. Alaska earned number 1. Florida earned number 2. Those places are as dangerous as they look. But across most of this country, the deadliest thing in your state is not the one you would ever put on a list. It is the deer in the ditch at 6 in the morning. It is the insect you never see. It is the animal already asleep in your house. The data almost always contradicts the instinct. And that gap between what we fear and what actually kills us is the whole reason a map like this is worth making. There is one more animal, and the comments on every video like this one name it, and they are right to. The most dangerous animal in every single one of these 50 states, the one no ranking will ever put at the top, and the one that belongs there, walks on 2 legs. The wildlife was never the thing to be afraid of. We were. Every state on this list was wild once, all the way down to Delaware, before we paved it, and named it, and decided it was safe. The animals that are left are living in the margins we allowed them, doing exactly what the country built them to do, watching the way this country has watched, since long before there was anyone here to rank it.